Coming up tonight on the news at 5.
I was very impressed with what I saw today. The people that came out and really celebrated.
East Helena braves snow and cold to recognize those who have served. Plus, a Great Falls actor makes his debut on a popular NBC show.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Good afternoon and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Jessica Nelson. Thank you for joining us. We're going to start tonight's show off with the cold and snowy Montana weather, as Curtis put it to me earlier.
Yes, happy Veterans Day, Jessica. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Since last night, a decent amount of snow fell in parts of the state. How about really centralized around the Missoula area, Mount Jumbo, up to 14 inches of snow at the University of Montana. The east side of Missoula, 10 inches. Around the airport, only about 3 inches of snow fell. South of Helena, as much as 6 inches of snow. Vando, 3.3. Some reports on the west side, on the south side of Helena of 3 inches, and just south of Great Falls, 2 inches of snow in Ulm. We still have a little snow out there in some areas, although the snow is beginning to really wind down. We'll talk more about the calm before the storm, some sunshine for tomorrow. The storm hits this weekend, and if you're not careful, you might be gone with the wind like your trash cans. And not November. We've got some warmer air on the way. More in the full forecast coming up.
The state reported more than 900 additional cases today. The state of Montana currently has over 14,000 active cases and is sitting at 500 active hospitalizations with 497 COVID-19 related deaths. That is 7 more than from yesterday. As a reminder, MTN numbers can vary from the state since we also track data reported from local health departments. Veterans Day is, of course, a day to honor and remember veterans, but it's also an opportunity to highlight organizations helping veterans. MTN's Coulter Anstad takes us inside the Grace Home Veterans Center in Great Falls.
You want to crush this up as I put it in there.
Navy veteran Lynn Bundrick has only been at Grace Home Veterans Center for 10 days, but the center is already changing his life for the better.
There are services and opportunities here. I'm going to be able to start my own business, which is called Big Papa's Little Mama's Comfort Food. This is kind of some of it right here.
This is going to taste better since I helped.
Oh yeah.
The administrators here are great, people are great, and it's a huge opportunity for the community.
The center serves as a transitional home for homeless vets, helping them get into permanent housing and even potentially get jobs. Case manager Nick Toyne says hundreds have been helped since the center opened in 2016.
Based on the feedback that we've received, because we conduct exit interviews, satisfaction interviews, upon their completion of residency, and so many of them have said that they would not be able to achieve what they have without us.
Army and Navy veteran Barry Schilling is in his second stint at the center. Like the many veterans before him, he believes he wouldn't be where he is today without the center.
Everybody's treated me really well here, and without this place, I wouldn't have the opportunity that I have right now.
During Great Falls' virtual Veterans Day ceremony Wednesday, Colonel Anita Fugate Opperman from Malmstrom Air Force Base noted how supportive the community is to veterans.
Thank you, Great Falls, for being a fantastic community that lives fondly in the memory of all who have served. So thank you and happy Veterans Day.
In Great Falls, Coulter Anstad, MTN News.
East Helena honored local service members today with its annual Veterans Day parade. Though the event was smaller than in past years, about 20 people marched from the VFW post to the Service Members Monument in Main Street Park. They then took part in a brief ceremony to celebrate veterans. The VFW has been holding the parade for 70 years, and the event typically includes many more service organizations, emergency responders, and school groups. But in light of COVID-19, organizers said they knew it had to be smaller this year. Many people were still parked along Main Street to watch the parade.
I was very impressed with what I saw today. The people that came out and really celebrated and saluted what the day is really for, and that's for all the veterans, past and present.
Organizers say they hope to be able to have a full ceremony again by next year. Well, health and health care are some of the biggest issues facing veteran populations. The Montana VA says telehealth has been a game changer for them and their patients. Some veterans in Montana have to travel more than 100 miles to get to their nearest VA clinic. Telehealth means they can connect with a doctor at their home or wherever they have cell service. Doctors are even able to walk someone through getting their blood pressure checked or a dermatology consultation. VA staff say it's been a huge benefit for behavioral health patients and parents juggling childcare, and for older veterans and their families to stay informed about their care.
Do a video connect appointment. It's like almost like doing a three-way phone call or a four-way phone call. So we have a veteran that comes into the clinic. His son lives in Seattle. His son was actually able to be in his appointment, and the provider, the patient, and the son are all in different locations.
Telemedicine implementation in Montana is still facing significant challenges. Rural internet and cell service is lacking for many Montana communities, which can then limit access. Luke Skinner has made the mile-long walk from his workplace to the top of Warden Park in Great Falls 62 times. He carries an American flag with him every time. It started out as a way to honor the victims of this year's tragedies. Now it's turned into a symbol of hope. MTN's Matt Hosoffel reports.
What began as a midsummer's morning walk.
I'd been motivated for several weeks after what happened with George Floyd and the protest.
Stretched into the winter and into a beacon of hope.
Well, I was wanting to honor the memory of the victims of COVID-19 and of the 2020 riots.
Luke's shift at Extended Stay America ends at 7 a.m.
Being awake at night at work, sleeping during the day, I was missing out on the rallies.
His walk to the top of Warden Park starts at 7:05.
And the goal was to get at least 60 in by election day, and I was fortunate to get a 61st day in the day before election day.
He arrives around 7:30.
From 7:30 to 8, I'm up there just carrying the banner and waving the flag, letting people who can see it in the distance. Yeah, it's usually an hour every day, 62 times.
It's not quite rain or shine, but the cold hasn't stopped him yet.
It's been a terrible ordeal that we've been going through this year, everybody across the country. And I figured I gotta raise awareness in some way, shape, or form.
Once he makes it to the top,
there were people I would run into at my local hangout who would say, "Hey, you're that guy up on top of the hill."
He waves his flag over the city to send a message of hope.
62 walks of hope, hope that I'm giving all of you a new symbol of hope.
Over 230,000 Americans have died from COVID-19 related complications since March. About 1 in every 1,000 black men will be killed by police. Luke hopes that one day he won't be the only one remembering those lives and giving people hope.
I'm hoping, maybe once a year there's going to be something like this, maybe on a grand scale. Hopefully, we're going to come together in the future and come out of this, stronger than we were before.
In Great Falls, Matt Hosoffel, MTN News.
All right, when we come back, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenens gives us a complete check of the forecast and later. Line workers in Great Falls are still hard at work from last weekend's snowstorm. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenens.
Helps to have a microphone that is turned on here. Not sure how it turned off. 13 degrees in Great Falls, as I just said. Wind is calm, pretty chilly out there. And in Helena, 23 degrees, still some clouds and a couple of snow showers around. Look at some of these chilly numbers, teens and 20s for a lot of the state. 30 degrees over in Missoula. The wind, not that bad of an issue. A little breezy out there around Glasgow and the Jordan area. But most of the state will be looking at really just a wicked wind blowing in as we get into this weekend. On the radar, still a couple of flakes flying here. nice little snow band from, again, around Missoula out through Greeno and Helmville, just north of Avon. Looks like this snow extending almost to Great Divide right there. So certainly at least the upper part of Canyon Creek picking up a little snow. Some snow pushing up the Blackfoot Valley here as well. That's a nice little band that could accumulate a couple inches here pretty quickly. Careful if you're traveling that way, and maybe a few flakes of snow still up into northeast Montana. It's quite rainy and even tropical down on the east side of the country. Hurricane Ada, you can see kind of the center circulation right there. A few tornado warnings in the Tampa area here. Very, very heavy rain. I was talking to some family in Naples earlier today. We've got teens and snow, and they've got tropical downpours and temperatures in the 70s and the 80s. Back to Montana and the snow showers that may continue here out over the little belts, the big belts around Helena also, especially west of town, closer to the divide. We've got that one snow band that will persist for another few hours, but overall, tonight, things will settle down. We'll look at a mostly sunny day for Thursday. It's the calm before the storm, and that next storm starts pushing in even late Thursday with some clouds, but it's really Friday. Look at some of that snow west of the Continental Divide. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies here on Friday and some wind starting to increase. Most of that moisture will stay west of the divide. So here's the big picture. Let's just run over this one more time. Here comes the next storm approaching Friday here with some snow west of the divide. That looks like that's a lot of snow, but again, really Continental Divide and west will have some of that snow throughout the day on Friday. Into the weekend, though, we'll have a lot of wind, some snow up along the High Line and out the Canadian border here throughout the day Saturday. Very windy with some snow showers, and Sunday looks like partly cloudy skies before we could have a little mix of some rain and snow here on Monday as some warmer air moves up into the state. Tonight, very chilly with single digits and teens for a lot of locations. Turner, Harlem, right near 0 out there. We've got some fresh snow on the ground and high pressure moving in. Wind will be calm and just really good radiational cooling conditions. Still a little in the way of some snow on the divide and west of the divide. And here's the forecast for tomorrow. Yes, some wind and blowing snow potentially around Browning and Cut Bank, but not too bad out here with 20s and 30s for most high temperatures here. And again, we've got mostly sunny skies. It's the calm before the windstorm that really blows in here this weekend. And there you can see on the 7-day forecast, 37 tomorrow for Helena, about 40 degrees, mostly cloudy on Friday. We could have some late evening snow showers. Saturday, very windy with some snow showers coming through. Monday will be the next day we could have a little light mixed precipitation. How about Tuesday and Wednesday? Certainly not November. It's up into the 60s in Fort Great Falls. Enjoy the fairly calm weather tomorrow. The wind increases. The clouds will also increase on Friday. Saturday, a very windy day with some snow showers. And then we warm up across the entire state Tuesday and Wednesday.
Folks in Cascade County are still dealing with the fallout of the latest snowstorm. Zach Shermley has more.
A lot's changed because of the pandemic, but one thing that you can always count on here in Montana, winter weather and power outages.
Storm came in early afternoon.
A record-breaking blizzard.
I'm almost 50 and I don't remember it ever getting to where it was out for 16 hours.
Thousands without power.
Yeah, we were playing Uno by candlelight, so yeah.
But they were ready for it.
We were not surprised. And of course, we're 24/7.
What did surprise them?
We handed me a thank you card, and it was a very special, well-written card with, you could tell, heartfelt.
The gratitude.
Once you start to see everybody thanking them on Facebook, you kind of realize they do have a thankless job.
Northwestern Energy crews have been out repairing downed power lines around Cascade County since Saturday night. 37 crew members are out here just outside Stookie Road, outside Great Falls, doing the hard work, getting these power lines back in service.
Golden Valley Loop.
Thousands of customers out in Vaughan were affected by about 18 downed power lines. Meanwhile, a community not complaining, but thankful.
And it was just a little gesture we could do, and we have hot soup, and that's perfect when you're cold.
Offering crew members free hot meals, no questions asked.
And that's just one example of all sorts of thank yous that people in Cascade County, Vaughan, Fairfield, Great Falls, Ulm were giving to these crew members for their round-the-clock service. In Great Falls, I'm Zach Shermley, MTN News.
On this Veterans Day, President Trump travels to Arlington National Cemetery for the traditional wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknowns.
President-elect Biden and President Trump both paying their respects this Veterans Day. Biden visiting a war memorial in Philadelphia. The president, in his first public appearance in nearly a week, joining a ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery, but not making any remarks. He's still waging war against the election results. The Trump team filing more than a dozen lawsuits, many of them already dismissed, as no evidence of widespread fraud has surfaced. Today, Georgia's top elections official confirming that state will hold a recount.
With the margin being so close, it will require a full by-hand recount in each county.
Biden now leads in Georgia by more than 14,000 votes. His legal team pointing to the results of past statewide recounts.
The average change in votes was 430, and the median change was 267. End of story. These margins cannot be overcome in recounts.
In Pennsylvania, elections officials announced only about 10,000 mail-in ballots arrived during an extended window after Election Day, allowed by the Supreme Court. Those ballots still being challenged are not enough to change the results in the state that put Biden over the top. And as the government withholds resources for the transition, Democrats are voicing alarm that denying the president-elect access to intelligence briefings could damage national security. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up next on the news at 5, these amazing animals communicate through scent. We'll have more in tonight's Wildlife Report.
Montana's news leader. You're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back. As day length declines in the fall, thick-necked bucks start rubbing trees, focusing on does and fighting other bucks. This is the culmination of the deer rut. MTN's wildlife correspondent Tanner Saul shows us how these reproducing animals communicate with scent.
As the deer rut picks up in Montana, deer will start to release various pheromones as they primarily use scent for communication. Publications on mammalian behavior suggest that each reproductively active deer exudes a unique odor that communicates its identity as well as its sexual status. The tarsal gland is on the middle of the back knee. Early in the rut, it turns dark brown in color. Bucks urinate on this gland, which reacts with bacteria that live on their fur, which then steadily darkens with time. By the time rut is in full swing, these glands are almost black in color. Scent is then released onto the surrounding vegetation as the bucks move through their territory. Females also urinate over their tarsal gland, and when it eventually turns black, they are in estrus, meaning that they are ready to mate. The forehead gland is located between the base of the antlers and the eyes. This gland is easily identified in adult bucks because the hair in this region is particularly dark and brown. Prior to the rut, the buck rubbed trees with the base of their antlers, exposing the moist undersurface of the trees to the secretions from the forehead gland, as well as the preorbital gland, which is located on the inside corner of the eye. By doing this, bucks are advertising their territory and dominance. The most dominant bucks have the most active forehead glands. In Missoula, Tanner Saul, MTN News.
All right, up next, a Great Falls actor makes a big-time TV debut. I'll tell you what show you can catch him on this evening on NBC.
When we welcome our West Coast viewers as the COVID crisis grows, more regions facing new restrictions tonight. We'll tell you what you need to know. Also, the maker of a popular doorbell camera warns of the fire risk if it's not installed properly. We'll have details when we see you back here tonight for NBC Nightly News.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Michael Chastain and his wife moved to Great Falls 2 years ago to raise a family. And tonight, Michael will make his TV debut as an undercover cop on the network's Chicago PD. Chastain said the experience of filming has been incredible, and the show will provide a glimpse into some of the issues that play out in people's daily lives. He also thinks it will provide hope to some. All right, so you can check him out on Chicago PD tonight at 8 o'clock on NBC.
All right, let's check out the 7-day forecast. Cold night tonight, single digits and teens tomorrow. getting above the freezing point. Great Falls all the way up to about 37 degrees, mostly sunny skies. And yes, there will be some wind, but it won't be the worst, certainly not as bad as this weekend. Friday, mostly cloudy, maybe a couple of mixed rain and snow showers late Saturday. Some snow showers, especially north of Great Falls. Up on the High Line might have a little steadier snow for a little while, couple inches possible. Very windy across the state Saturday and Sunday. And for Helena, down into the teens tonight, 30s tomorrow, mostly sunny. Not a lot of wind, should be a pretty nice day, but that wind moves in for Friday and the weekend.
All right. Happy Veterans Day. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for joining us.